Good morning, friends. My name is Aldin Nugmanova, and today I will tell you what has been happening in sustainability in our company. This May, we decided to designate a separate leader for this division, and this is me. For our company, it's quite a logical step because we never create a role or step just because. First, we get task and then we start looking for people. Just so, in 2020, we started implementing sustainability projects in our overall strategy. And my role appeared for us to become more focused and more result-oriented. So, for me, this was quite a change in my life because back then I was working as the leader of the legal function. So then me and Fyodor was thinking that maybe in 2 months we could find a replacement, and we were optimistic. We've been searching him for 4 months, and this September Sergei Lebedev-Gorsky joined our team. Sergei, I wish you luck, onwards and upwards. And of course I would like to thank now my previous team of legal experts. I've learned a lot from you, a lot. Not just about work, but about life as well. And my first intro to the sustainability was when Natasha brought her coffee mug. She was loving it because of its reliability and sustainability, and she was admonishing Drinkit for their packaging. And then I was just looking at Natalia condescendingly, and I couldn't believe that such pattern of consumption would be of interest for me. But now, let us move on to the most important part. Why is everything unclear in sustainability? Why is it so difficult? And what will we do? Objectively speaking, this subject has lots of myths, and we are the biggest perpetrators. Maybe the most popular myth is which bag is more environmentally friendly, paper or plastic? So, I've been asked a lot of those questions, so there is no evident answer. It all depends on the context. Usually, the, let's say, supporters of paper bags, they say that they're made of wood, so that's why they're eco-friendly, it's more reliable, it's, can recycled. But, in real life, paper bag is usually just thrown away to the landfill. No one is storing it individually, no one is creating those environmentally safe conditions. And just as much, it becomes a biogas. But if we take a look at a different perspective, paper bag is not used as frequently as plastic bag, because it's more reliable, it's more sturdy, if you will. So only by looking at the context we can see the results. And in order to see through the myths to more environmentally sustainable solutions, objectively speaking, we need time. Time for analysis, for justification, for acceptance, for confirmation. So right now I'm working on preparation for our general strategy, and I will answer the question, what are we going to do? What are we going to support? What are we going to propose to our customers? Now, let's take a look to another example of packaging, because packaging is probably something that affects environment a lot, and it affects client experience. And we shall take a look at the example of our coffee mugs. So, when we say about sustainable packaging, then all companies usually try to use this case and put it through the prism of zero waste philosophy. That means that everyone is trying to minimize the waste. So, now let us take a look at how we can apply this principle to our company. I've mentioned this eco-friendly mug of Natalia, and it actually coincides with the first principle, reduce. So, reducing waste. It's quite obvious. If you're using your own mug, your own cup, then you're not using our packaging. That means we don't create any sort of waste. But I usually refer it to, I would say, ideally radical solution, because it cannot be scaled up. It's more of a zone of responsibility of a customer, and not everyone will reach this solution. We, as a company, can only support those people. And why is that difficult? Because this coffee mug usually costs more. You have to carry it with you at all times. You need bag for that. You need place in the bag and that. You have to wash it. And sometimes you can forget it somewhere. So that is why, of course, you shouldn't, refrain from drinking coffee. Because, as I said, it's more radical. And, for reference point, our coffee shop, Drinkit, learned how to pour coffees in our customers' cups or mugs. I just place it at the smart panel. Our guys are making coffee in this black iron, replaceable and reusable cup, and then they just pour it into my cup. and the drink is absolutely the same as I was drinking from previous cups. The next rule of this philosophy of zero waste is reusing packaging. That means that you can use it multiple times, then again bringing down the volume of waste. You've probably heard about this cool pilot project that was launched by McDonald's in the UK. They've, for the first time ever, started using this multiple-use cups for coffee. We're very interested in that case, of course, and right now we're analyzing it. We're waiting from our supplier, company called Opticon, such coffee cups to make some experiments on them to see if they can suit us, if they can be washed, etc. So the next question would be how to stimulate and promote customers to bring back these coffee mugs and coffee cups. Usually companies use some sort of discount for this purpose, and you can, for example, take a case of MetroCard. So some portion of the payment is used as a cashback if you reuse it multiple times. Okay, now let's take a look at one of the last principles of zero waste, which is recycle. What is so important here and what we should draw our attention to? Most important thing is what sort of material we're going to use in making and creating our cup. Why is that important? It's all because what we're going to choose, it will directly affect of whether we can recycle it or not. Because in the world, we don't have millions and millions of technologies for this. We certainly know that there is a recycling of plastic and paper. But when our packaging would contain more ingredients from what we make it, 2 or 3 more, then the recycling technology is becoming more complicated, becomes unique. And the process of creation is also becoming more difficult because the predominant number of all cups, and in Dodo as well, are the cups that consist of several materials. First of all is cardboard. In the inside we have a plastic layer, so it's also plastic, and the lid, which is again third component, is also plastic, which has to be all recycled separately. But those are the questions that we have to answer right now. And generally speaking, environmental consultants, they recommend to refraining from multi-component packaging. Our consultants recommended us to do the same, and starting from the 2020, the end of 2020, we are looking for such material. What is cool is that out there we have suppliers that are also looking for solutions, and they offer us different cups that are made from natural resources. But like I said, it's more of an innovation, and right now we can only test and experiment and maybe redevelop these cups from suppliers because they overspilled a little. But as for the difficulties that are going to be ahead of us, so on the recycling, on the logistics and everything, it's more of a, I would say, that it has to be done. And we have to find more efficient solutions because it's an inevitable part of the future. But what we have to do with ourselves is to change our habits, our patterns and our fears, because those are the ones that are stopping us from change. Let's take a look at the last example of our packaging and how changing just one behavioral habit affected our company and what our clients told us about this. So we, just as our customers, we are used to, let's say, receive napkins when we order food, or maybe some utensils, because, you know, it's obvious, because you're eating, you need utensils, and then you have to, you know, wipe your mouth because of this. And we have this Dodo set that contains 2 napkins, 2 toothpicks, and a collectible sticker, because of course sticker is something that made us stood out. Then we reduced this Dodo set to just 1 set during the pandemic. We got very cool results, and it turns out that our customers, they valued that very sticker. So here's a question: do we really have this behavioral habit, and is the napkin really a golden standard of our service? This is where our judgment started to be shaken a little bit, and we gave our customers an opportunity to select those napkins themselves if we need them. Of course, there were a lot of trials and errors, and ultimately we got very justified feedback from our customers, and they said that not all of them need those Dodo sets with all of those napkins and whatnot. So we started looking into how much resources we're really spending on the creation of those Dodo sets, and the question of, conscious usage of our planet's resources is not something that we can ignore, if you think about it. But considering the aluminum crisis that we have on the market, which meant that not all the time our customers can get their favorite drinks in cans, is very illustrative ones. So, starting from September this year, we decided to refrain from Dodo set in more than 600 pizza stores. Our monthly consumption of those Dodo sets was about 2 million units. That was before. And the coolest thing, which I never could actually anticipate, is that clients actually supported us. They supported us in our venture. When we posted that we're going not to use Dodo sets anymore, they got more than 3,500 reposts and likes. So, we are still very determined. We know that customers are waiting, so stay tuned. Friends, hello everyone, my name is Denis Chernobayev. I'm a leader of the Dream Team, and I would like to share the news of our project. Again, I should remind you, we have two main focuses for our small startup. First of all is opening our new coffee shop in City, which is a financial center of Moscow, until October 25th. Second focus is reach store level EBITDA in Omega up to 30%, and third focus is open 10 stores by the end of 2021. So I'll tell you how far we've gone. Probably the biggest and the happiest announcement of our project is opening a third Drinkit coffee shop. This is a small step for Dodo Brands, but it's a big step for our project. So, in an actuality, opening a coffee shop in Tinkoff Bank is very interesting. We started looking into this opportunity at back in the start of the summer of this year, but it was stolen by another coffee store. But this coffee shop had very successful story. They made about 20 to 30 checks, and we bought the renting rights from this coffee store. It took us a while for negotiating, so we paid small compensation, and finally we signed an agreement with the business center. So in just 10 days of construction works, we built our Drinkit coffee shop, and this coffee shop is already operational and working. So the capex of this coffee shop is a little bit below 2 million rubles, and average daily revenue reached 40,000 rubles. And for that, this is a very flagship number, because that was the goal of our average revenue, and we estimate its EBITDA about 25%, and we think it's a terrific result. This coffee shop just started working, and I think it will continue growing, and we believe it's a very good result up until now. So what's been happening in our coffee shop in Federation Tower, which again, one of our flagship projects for this year. So we signed an agreement on renting the venue, and we basically had everything prepared this summer to start the construction and opening a coffee shop. So we designed the project, we designed the layout, we designed the concept, we designed the technology concept, we taught our team and trained them, but all this time we couldn't proceed to construction work because Federation Tower has a very difficult procedure of approving construction work, and we thought that it would be faster than we anticipated. We thought that we would start working, 1st of September, but we, only starting doing this now, October. But we're about to start our construction works any day now, and I believe we will do anything in our power to open this coffee shop by the end of October this year. So this is how our coffee shop is going to look like. It's a brand new concept design that was designed by an expert that works with us on Drinkit. His name is Alexander. Alexander, thank you so much. We believe it's terrific design. You did it well. So, as for the format of coffee shop, it's pretty much similar to Omega coffee shop. minimal sitting places, and it's a coffee-to-go pattern focus oriented coffee shop. But it's a brand new step from the point of view of technology and the design of the concept itself. We have another venue and another place that we're about to start the construction, which is called Diamond Hall. It's a very big and beautiful business center for 4,000 employees. There's a main office of Gazprom Media, so that means a lot of TV channels are shooting there. And also a lot of big offices of Sberbank is located there, Credit Europe Bank is located there, and Delta Air Airlines as well. So in Diamond Hall, everything is going according to the plan. We were planning that this coffee shop would be open late October, early November. We a little bit got delayed because we believe that the construction would start last week, but we got some small complications from the point of view of technological process, and I think at the end of this week we will begin construction work, and the coffee shop will open early November. This is a different format. You know, the area is about 71 square meters for our coffee shop. We will have a comfortable zone of waiting for customers that are in a hurry, but still we have a good seating places for about 20 people, for those that would like to, for example, hold meetings, negotiations in our coffee shop, because in this business center there is no other coffee shop. There's just one to-go coffee shop, so we will become, you know, a monopoly in this business center. So if they would like to spend some time, Drinkit would be the only option for them. What else has been happening from the point of view of development, from the point of view of reaching our target of 10 coffee shops by the end of this year? So I think any moment now our team will sign an agreement with another business center, this Magistrate Plaza. So we are about to sign the agreement. Alexander, if you don't bring this agreement to me, don't come into my office. So again, it's a very big business center. It looks like Omega Business Center, where our first coffee shop opened. About 5,000 employees. Again, not just one renter, but lots of small ones. So we have about 5 different competitors here. Our premise area is about 50 square meters, and again, it will be a small coffee shop with the to-go format with limited seating. We estimate that the revenue would be 1.5 million rubles, and estimated EBITDA would be about 25%. The opening we're planning at the start of December this year. So, in an actuality, I would say that our development plan has changed a lot in terms of finding premises, because a couple of months ago, at our last meeting, we were looking into 200 or 300 different premises on a monthly basis, and now we're looking in thousands of premises on a weekly basis, and now we have 17 premises pending, where we're given offers to the renters of them. So, it may lead to signing final agreements, but 2 of them are tentatively close to signing. I'm not going to spoil anything, but again, I shall remind you that we're about to maybe sign agreement with 2 more coffee shops, and we have more premises. So maybe 1 or 2 extra coffee shops will be opened up in Samara of our partners. So what's happening with our revenue? So here I don't have any groundbreaking news that I could share with you, because again, in July, in August and September, again, we entered the plateau of about 1.5 million rubles, and it hasn't changed much. Again, we started to increase the metrics of our efficiency on the productivity, but anything else was basically the same. But in September we started a new spurt of growth. So, if it was, for example, average revenue was 65,000 rubles, then in October, start of October, it's 75,000 rubles now. Again, it's a step up, it's plus 15%, which is very good. I think it's related to the autumn seasonals that we launched, and there's also a cumulative effect that, again, has accumulated in terms of the speed of service, the quality of service, and everything that we offer. Maybe it's because the COVID limitations have been lifted for portions of companies that are present at the business centers, but this hypothesis hasn't been confirmed because our revenue has grown and our competitors' revenue hasn't grown. As for other news about our menu, again, it's related to our revenue as well, directly. At the previous meetings, I told you that we are making a lot of food ourselves, and it actually decreases our operational efficiency, and labor cost is increasing. So we were looking for high quality suppliers of these products, suppliers that could provide us with food that is necessary for a menu, high quality. And in September we finally found those suppliers, and we updated our assortment of yogurts and porridges, and we don't cook them, we just get them ready-made, so that means that labor cost will become even more efficient. Also, we strayed away from croissants because we had 6 of those before. We introduced 2 ready-made croissants and we removed 5 of them. So roast beef croissant is still being cooked by ourselves, but I think in the nearest future we will also find a solution to this issue, and we will again completely refrain from cooking ourselves. Again, a couple of slides ago I said that we launched the autumn seasonals, a new drinks line. Again, it's a very important event for our coffee shop because it also affected the growth of our revenue. All of the drinks now are making top of our sales, and I believe it's a very important idea for the concept of a coffee shop. Any coffee shop, really. It helps us grow the frequency of our guests. Our application also has wonderful news. Our design team finalized their work on working of new concept of our menu. So this redesign of our application would allow our guests to find necessary products for them quicker and more efficient. And again, it would improve conversion and the perception of our application. Maybe again will lead to the growth of revenue. Again, we have a very good news from our online training center, because we understand that we can open a lot of coffee shops, but if we don't teach people, if we don't train them, we can't reach good results. And our team has achieved a lot in terms of online training. Currently we have, I would say, a lot of courses being available and recorded, and I think by the end of this year a significant portion of training you can do online, and it would again increase our efficiency from the point of view of attracting and engaging new people. We have a project that's called 100 Barista till 2022. Again, this was based on our ambition on the number of coffee shops that we're about to open, and practically on a daily basis we are tracking all of those metrics in terms of training, and we're moving in accordance with our plan as of now. We have about 15 people that are ready to working in our future coffee shops, so they're trained, they're waiting for these coffee shops to be opened in the city, in Concert Hall, and other premises as well. And of course I couldn't help but mention very important news in terms of service. We're making very good steps in terms of training about this delicate matter of servicing our guests. We have a training that's called emotional service, and in September and in August in our training center we had a training for our team in Samara. We launched emotional service marathon, and it was supposed to be a very important step forward in terms of the quality of our service. So, my friends, that's pretty much it that I would like to share with you today. Thank you, and I wish you a very productive week.